Greetings and welcome to another video in our series about VoiceAttack, the EliteVa plugin and Elite Dangerous. In this episode, we're going to make a command up to plot routes from the Elite Dangerous general processor program. Now, I did cover this in another video, which I'll link to in the top right corner, and I'll put it on the end card at the end of this video as well. Boxel mapping is a good way of mapping an area of space for systems which have got similar characteristics. Now, we can do this manually by going into the game. Let's pop into it now. We open up the galaxy map. We're currently in this system here. If I copy that to the clipboard quickly, paste it in, delete the system number and put in 0, that's the start of this Boxel for OY-R. As I say, I'll go into this in the other video and explain how it works. So we can paste it in, plot the route, jump to the system. It does show a different system name there, but that's just the way that Elite Dangerous works with Stellar Forge. The background name is that, the display name can be different. Jump to the system, scan it, DSS it as need be, change the system number to that one, press enter, jump to the next one, and so on and so forth. But we can use VoiceAttack to help with this process. If I clear that route out of it, and go back into, there we go. Popping up the Elite Dangerous journal processor. Shows us where we currently are now. I click on the start button, go to the Boxel survey, use current system, go, save and start. It generates our path through the Boxel. And we've got the system number there that we're going to go to. So look, it's got the system name, which is what we used a second ago. So as we jump through each system, EDJP will copy the next system in our route into our clipboard, which we can then paste into the game. We can now make a command in VoiceAttack to help automate this. I'll bring up Notepad++. We're going to need at least 2 files for this. First one is the bindings.txt file. The second one is the status.txt file. We might use the navroute. And I've got a file here with a list of actions we can do in the command to help us plot the route. So the first one is open the galaxy map, copy the system name from EDJP, check that the map is open, select the search option, paste the system name, select the system, plot the route, close the map. Can be useful to make a list like this. It's something you can refer back to, and you can then go through it and add things, remove things, adjust things before you actually start making the command up. Let's go back to the bindings and go into VoiceAttack and do a new command. Now I'm going to call this for the time being next Boxel system. And I'm also going to assign it to a button on my HOTAS. That one there. Okay, that. Give it a description. What's the next system in a Boxel? There you go. And we're going to put it into a category. We're going to call this exploration. So the first thing we want to do is open the galaxy map. Now we can do that just by pressing a key. The other thing we can do is put a check in to see if the galaxy map is already open, because there's no point trying to open it if it's already open. What we can do, we go Other, Advanced, Begin, Single Condition. And we go into the bindings. We want status file first, because we want to know if the galaxy map is already open or not. So we look for the GUI focus, which is there. Copy that, paste it in there. Now we need to know what the value of the galaxy map is in the game. So I'm just going to go into the game quickly and open up the galaxy map. Sure this is updated. There we go. Just need to refresh the file. So the galaxy map is GUI focus 6. And pop back and close that quickly. Now I'll go into here, So if the GUI focus equals 6, actually, if the GUI focus doesn't equal 6, we want to press the key to open it. Go other, key press, variable, and then I want one for the galaxy map, which is there. That's the first one. Now, if the galaxy map isn't open, we'll press the key to open it. If it's open, it'll just skip this bit. We look back here. The next thing we want to do is copy the system name. So with EDJP, it has a hotkey to copy the next system into your clipboard buffer. We're going to go Control and O, because that's the default hotkey for it, and OK that. We then want to check to see if the map is actually open. So again, we can use the GUI focus there. So we want to create a loop to check to see if GUI focus is equal to 6. We go other, advanced, loop, and then we paste one. There we go. So while the GUI focus doesn't equal 6, keep looping. OK that. We'll put a short pause in of 1/10 of a second. The only problem with doing it this way is if we don't open the galaxy map for some reason, this will just keep looping and looping and looping until we stop the command running. So we can put in a check so the loop will time out after so many seconds. And we'll do that by going to other, advanced, integer. We need to put in a variable name. We're going to call it loop count. And we want to set it to 0. I'm just going to copy it into clipboard quick. OK that. And we now need to increment the loop as we go through. So we'll go there and we'll go we'll just copy that there, paste it in, go down to computed value, add 1. We copy it back into the clipboard again. Every time it does a loop, it will increment the counter by 1. If we want it to time out after, let's say, 3 seconds, we can go to there, right click, edit with condition builder. So we want it to loop while GUI focus doesn't equal 6 and the loop count is less than, and we want it to loop for 3 seconds. So rather than putting 3 in there, we need to put 30 because 30 times 0.1 equals 3. 10th of a second times 10 is 1 second. So for 3 seconds, it'll be 30. OK that. Then we want to break out of the command if we've hit the loop count of 30, because that means we're not in the galaxy map. Go back to other, advanced, begin. We go on to here and we say if the loop count is greater than or equal to 30, we can then exit the command because we don't want to do anything else. And we can also go to other, advanced, right value, command timed out, and we'll change it to red because it's a warning. And what we'll do is we'll give this a quick test. So I'm not going to be in the game for this because I want it to see if we can get it to time out. Next Boxel system. And it's timed out. It works. If we go into the game, we can try it in the game. Next Boxel system. And we've now opened up the galaxy map. So we've got that part done. While we're in here, While we're in here, we can test a couple of things before we continue building the command. Turn it off a second. Okay. The next step we need to do is select the search option and paste in the system name. And there's two ways we can do this. We can move the mouse up and click it, and then we can do Control V. That will work. Or if we come back out just to reset everything and go back in, we can press the UI up key, press the UI select key, and do the Control V to paste it. Either method would work just as well, but in this case, we're going to use the keys to move around. So once we've got the system pasted in, we need to press the Enter key to travel to it. And then this is where you get a little bit of a problem. None of the UI keys will move you from this position. So you can do up, down, left, right, select. Doesn't make any difference. There's something weird with this. You can't move off of this bit. So to plot the route in VoiceAttack, we need to move the mouse over to the plot route option there, and then we can click it and it will plot the route. If we go back into VoiceAttack, and now we know that, we can look at our little list here. So we've done that bit there. Now we can do the select the search option. We go back into the command. Doing the testing like this is good because you're not trying to debug the entire command. You're testing a small section of it, making sure it works. If it does, move on to the next step. If it doesn't, tweak it, adjust it, test it until it's working. So the next thing we want to do on our list is go to the search option. The key press variable, and we want to go to the, here we go, we want UI up there. Paste that in there, okay. We want to put a slight pause in to allow the game enough time to move up. We go to other, pause for a specific. Now I'm going to take that one there, a 10, but I'm going to edit it and change it to 3/10. And okay that one. Next, we want to press the select key, which is, oh, clicked off it, there we go. UI select, key press, variable. I'm just going to copy that one and paste it underneath. That should now put us into the search option on the map. We need to select it, which is just pressing the return key. So key press, and then we're just going to use the enter key for that. You don't need to worry about a key bind. And okay. Slight pause. Now we may need to adjust some of these pauses as we go through and test. We now need to paste in the clipboard. So Control and then V. That's just hard coded into Windows. Okay, that. And then we want to search. We need to do another. Nope, done this wrong. No. Move that down one. That makes sense. So yeah, there we go. So we go up to the search, we select it, and we need to move that down there. Oh, no, hang on. There we go. That's better. Right, so UI up, we're on the search bit. We select it so we can paste into it. We paste into it, and then we press the enter key. This is why we've got this here, see? Paste, select. Now we've done that bit, we can give it a test. Okay, that, apply, done, and next Boxel system. Now it didn't paste it in there. We got to part of it, but it didn't paste it. So let's come back out. Go back into here, edit the command. So we're just going to increase this, let's say to 1/2 a second. Okay, that. And then we'll give that 1/2 a second as well, just to be on the safe side. Now, I'm not going to keep saying next Boxel system all the time. I'm just going to use the button on HOTAS. We're making progress, got the system name pasted in, but it didn't select it. So we most probably need to increase the times a little bit. So let's come out of the old Galaxy map. Go back in here. We got the pasting in, but this is the problem here. So let's go a little bit extreme. We'll go for a second. Okay, that. Okay, done. Still not long enough. We might need to go a second and a half possibly. And as you build a command, you'll have to do this testing. It can take a little bit of time. This is why I said earlier, we break it into chunks, get one little bit working, move on to the next bit, get that working, and so on. Okay, that's done. Right, fingers crossed, all right? Third time's a charm. Aha, success. Cool. So now we've got that to move to there. One quick note about the pauses. You may have to adjust them for your own particular setup. If your machine's a bit quicker or a bit slower, you might have to tweak it one way or the other. But now we've got this bit. So we're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there. We'll close that. So the next thing we want to do is actually plot the route. If we refer back to our little list. So we've got to this bit here. We selected this system. Now we need to plot the route. And for this, we need to move the mouse. So if we go to mouse and we go to move, we get this window pop up here. And in this case, we want to specify an X and a Y coordinate, but we don't know what they are in the game. And this can vary depending upon your game resolution, FOV, monitor size. It's not going to be the same for everybody. But what we can do, we can say set position. We get this window pop up here. So if I pop back into the game, we can see it's still on the window. Open up the Galaxy map. And as I move the mouse around, we can see the coordinates changing. If I just pick on this sector for a second to get the sidebar up, we want that one there. That's what we want. So if we put the mouse in the dead center, press F8 on the keyboard, we've now captured the X and Y coordinates for that mouse position. And we can OK that. We've already got it on. You can just go OK, and we're there. We now want to do a left mouse click, so we go back to mouse, click left button there. Just a note, VoiceAttack remembers the last value you put in there, so just double check to make sure it's not anything excessive. 300 of a second should be more than enough. So we click OK. All right, so let's give it another test. Close the map. Open. Pasted. Selected. Okay, now that was a little bit too quick there. It didn't give it enough time to update. So we'll come out of that. And we'll go back into the command again. So we want to put a pause in between pressing enter, moving the mouse and clicking the left button. Let's go half a second. Try that one. Right. Here we go. Now I've made this command in my own profile, and depending upon the length of time it takes to plot the route, half a second may not be enough. It works in this particular instance, but I've had it myself where I've had to adjust this time to 3 seconds. So if I go back in here, we'll just err on the side of caution, we're just going to call it 3 seconds. And OK that. We'll just go back and test it. I want to clear the destination there. Come back out. Open up that and test. It still works. It takes a little bit longer, but it's worth having extra pause in there. That one now works, so we can come out of that one. And then the last thing we want to do is close the map. Put back in there, and then we can just copy that. Just want to put a slight pause in there, and then paste that. We'll give it another go. There you go, done. As I say, you might need to tweak the pauses to adjust it for your own particular setup, but that should work. Now, there was something I was thinking about. The reason I had the navroute file open is I thought there might be a way of using it to confirm if we've actually got a route plotted successfully on the galaxy map. And after a little bit of testing, I don't think it's going to work. I'll need to do more investigations off camera, as it were, to see if there's a way of doing it. For now, though, the command works, so we don't need to tweak it anymore, apart from possibly the pauses, but that's dependent upon your own setups. We can use this as a foundation, though, for making other route plotting commands, which we can look at in other episodes. If you have any questions, comments, ideas, what do you think, put them in the comments section below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you've enjoyed the video or found it useful, click the like button, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe too, and share the video out. Until the next one, take care, and I'll see you soon. Toodles!